What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Tim Talks, the real estate show where we talk about real estate, life, and a little bit of everything else. Let's roll the intro music. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Tim Talks. Unfortunately, our guest is unable to be here today. So we had a professional swimming coach. Semi-professional swimming coach. So he coaches like young athletes, like I think they're like 13 to like 18-year-olds that are these ridiculously fast elite swimmers. And we're going to have him in here today, but unfortunately, he got into a car accident. So yeah, and that was like last week, but the reparations of that are still taking place, and he's unable to be here today. So we are going to do a fun Ashley and Tim episode today. We have some really cool stuff prepared for you guys today. We actually since we were excited to have this guest on there, and we kind of been hyping it up for you guys.
Yes.
We prepared some extra content today and put some extra time and effort into getting this one ready. So we hope you enjoy it. But before we get into that, we had an interesting thing happen in the last couple of days. So for those of you that listen to this show, you know that we're pretty big on social media, right? That's kind of a point of emphasis.
That's our thing.
It's a point of emphasis. And I have a coach who's been helping me with my social media. Well, not helping me with it, but giving me advice on what I should do with my social media. And my rule is 3 TikToks a day, right? Mm-hmm. They're almost like I would say 97% of them are real estate. So it's difficult to kind of keep up with that every single day, 3 times a day. But believe it or not, I've been able to do it for the last like 6 or 8 months. Anyway, I came up with a TikTok. This was probably about a week ago, and it was some trend, right? That's what I do is I do a lot of the trends, and I try to put a real estate twist on it.
Yeah.
So I did some trend. I don't even remember what the trend really was for, but the song has like knocking in it, right? Like, tick, 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 tick. So I was like, oh, what would be great? I'll make this TikTok about like, home buyers testing the walls, like at their, at a showing or whatever, right? It's kind of funny because you see home buyers like, I'm testing the walls, and they like,
good wall right there.
That's a good wall, right? Yeah, like, okay, well, I guess we'll have an inspector come and actually take a look at that, Not sure. It's like tire kicking at a car lot. And so I was like, that's kind of funny, so I'll post it up there. And for the first 3 days, like it basically did nothing. I usually get about 300 to 400 views on each TikTok. It's nothing crazy, right? And a couple days ago, all of a sudden I start to notice like there's more views and people are commenting and there's a lot of likes on this post. And I'm like, well, this is weird. So I go into the comments, and the reason I noticed that it had blown up is I have my Instagram linked to my TikTok. So anytime I get an influx of followers all of a sudden on Instagram, because I don't have notifications turned on for TikTok because of that huge TikTok that I had blow up. There was like millions of people trying to contact me. So I turned off the notifications for that. So the way I know if a TikTok went viral is I get Instagram notifications of people following me on Instagram. So I woke up and I had like 8 followers, new followers on Instagram, which is more. I usually probably do about 1 a day. So I had like 8. I was like, wow, this is extravagant.
I'm popular.
So I open up TikTok and I go to this TikTok. It's got like a few thousand likes on it and like 30 comments. Who wants to know what the comments were?
Yes.
So in this TikTok, I am guilty of wearing tighter work pants. All right. It's just,
That's Tim.
Recently, I, went to the gym, put on some little extra muscle. It has helped, the thighs, hug the thighs a little bit more. Anyway, it was not intended to be this whatsoever. But every comment, I mean, I was like overtly sexualized in these comments. I've never seen anything like it before.
They were very interesting.
There were 30 gay men in my comments.
They're like, look at that peach.
That was like the least of them. Okay,
I know that was the most
like
G-rated
the most
one.
tame one. You had people being like, rah, 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 like I was wow, okay, this is happening. How do we turn this into sales?
My new audience right here.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, that was unexpected, but I guess a win is a win, right?
Right. I mean, you got the view.
It's got like 40,000 views on it right now.
So do you think that when you post a new video, it's going to like shoot up those people that have like liked it already? They're going to be like, oh, is there more?
I need to make a confession. I intentionally posted a video in my tight work pants yesterday. I was like, you know what? My poor girlfriend's watching this. She's
Give
like,
the people what they love.
I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll blow up again. I don't know. So we're just gonna see. We're just gonna see.
It's an experiment.
And it wasn't like, I mean, the TikTok was just a real estate TikTok, but I am wearing my stretchy pants.
You were being 100% innocent in that TikTok.
All of my TikToks.
All about business. Yeah, it's all about
business. In fact, it was really funny. Some guy comments, it's another gay guy. He goes, y'all, he is just trying to sell a house here. He's not trying to sell them cakes. I was like, and somehow you managed to like deflect, but also like objectify at the same time. I was a genius. It was a great comment. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of how our day went yesterday. But we'll keep you guys updated if with anything else.
Get like weekly updates.
Yeah, weekly updates. Okay, so my follower count on TikTok, I gained like 400 followers on TikTok.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's a lot.
I went from like 33. Well, actually, I think it's close to 500 now. It's like 30 to like 38 something.
It's always weird whatever like people are really interested in.
Yeah.
Like that one TikTok that you're like, nobody's gonna really care.
Yeah.
Boom, it blows up.
And these people are like, he knows what he's doing, and I'm like, that didn't cross my mind once.
You're like, yes, I do know real estate.
yeah, walls. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get into some real estate red flags. And actually, I want to do this because I know we have some young agents or people thinking about becoming agents listening into this. And to be honest with you, when I first started as an agent, I didn't really know what red flags to look for. I was just like, kind of took things at face value, which is not smart. And you just can't really do that because then you'll learn the hard way. And fortunately, I really didn't have to learn the hard way on most of these things, but you just don't want people to have to go through that situation themselves. So I've compiled a list of 3 red flags when you're the buyer's agent and 3 red flags when you're the seller's agent. So the first red flag, we're going to start with the buyer's agents. The first red flag when you are a buyer's agent would be if the home has been on and off the market several times. There is a reason for that, right? And sometimes it's something totally innocent, right? Maybe they just had a big stroke of bad luck. Somebody got cold feet. Then somebody's financing fell through. And then somebody's financing fell through again, right? It could have gone on a few times just because of that, right? Mm-hmm. That is a reality. But oftentimes when it's been on and off more than 2 times, usually it's because there's something in that property that is really spooking the buyers.
Yes.
And because in Oregon, and I think pretty much everywhere else, if you are the seller's agent and something pops up on that inspection report, you don't have to ask for the inspection report, and you can tell the buyer's agent, hey, we don't want to know about what's going on, because if you don't know about it, then you don't have to disclose it. So a seller's agent could be sitting there saying, this house there's no issues with this house. The buyer just backed out and we don't have any issues that we're aware of. And it could have a cracking foundation that's going to tumble on itself that the buyers found in the inspection report, but they didn't share with the seller because the seller asked not to see it. Mm-hmm. So that's a huge red flag, is if it's been on and off the market a few times, you really need to inquire with that agent, okay, what's really going on here? And sometimes I would even go so far as to contact see if you can find out who the other people under contract were originally, because sometimes, if you know enough people in this industry, you can figure out who it was. Mm-hmm. Ask them, hey, why did you guys back out of this deal? So that's my number one.
Yeah, because in reality, their pipes are ready to burst, or they're having plumbing issues and all that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It could be falling down. The walls could literally be falling down, and you would have no idea, and you'd just be stepping your client into a situation that's unfortunate. Mm-hmm. And even if you do find that stuff on an inspection, well, now you've just wasted a couple weeks and, $700 or $800 for an inspection. So do that due diligence up front. All right, my second red flag is for buyer's agents is a huge price drop, right? When I was a brand new agent and I heard price drop, I was like, yeah, awesome, woo, and a better opportunity for my buyers. Mm-hmm. But is that a huge price drop? if it is, then that's a big red flag. Why is that price going down so far? Could be a couple reasons for this, right? And again, we could have an innocent reason, right? Because maybe these sellers are really motivated and they really want to get out of there, and they're just said, to hell with it, drop that price as far as we possibly can go. Or they found something really bad on the inspection report when it was under contract previously, and now they're saying, well, we have a $30,000 foundation repair, so we're just going to chop off $25,000 and see if people are dumb enough to bite at it. So if there's a huge price drop, you really need to do your digging. Make sure, maybe was it under contract before? Has it fallen through? Is it just sellers that are getting old, waiting to move into their retirement home? I mean, like there's sellers who have to pay their one-time entry fee into a retirement home, and they really need like $100,000. So they know that dropping $50,000 off the price of their home is going to get it off the market quickly. They'll do that anyway. So maybe it's advantageous, but also maybe you're walking into a nightmare. So make sure you do your digging on that.
Just be cautious.
Yes. Okay, number 3 is one that it's a little tricky. So watch out for verbiage such as is, no repairs. When you see that, usually you can just ask the agent, okay, what's that for? What's going on? What are we going to have to repair down the road? Because when they say as is, no repairs, that usually means that the agent and the seller are aware that there's repairs and the seller doesn't want to do them. And again, you could have your innocent situation where there's just some things around the house that need to be repaired. They're not big deals. They're not a big deal, but the agent doesn't, or the seller doesn't want to have to deal with that when they're selling their house. They just want to get out of there. They don't want to have to deal with a contractor coming in and out, blah, blah, blah. That's a little bit more innocent. Could be that there's a failed sewer line and they know about that and they'll disclose it to you. But if they say as is, no repairs, that means that the sticker price is, you're not going to be going, maybe you take a little off of that for, to get the repairs done yourself, but they're not going to bring somebody out to take care of that and fix that. That could be a headache for your buyer down the road, because it's always better to have the sellers take care of it and get the work done in contract, so that when you move outside the deal, then your buyer doesn't uncover something that screws them over at the end of the day. So those are 3 red flags for a buyer's agent. Let's switch over to the seller side. This first one is something that I actually represented some clients who would do this, and I actually fired them because I didn't feel like it was right. I felt like they were kind of taking advantage to a certain extent. But that is waiving a professional inspection for a personal inspection. When you hire a professional inspector, what that means is that you are going to get a professional inspection with a licensed inspector who is not going to say there's things that need repairs that don't really need repair. He's not going to try to squeeze extra dollars out of the deal. But I have had investors waive their professional inspections and bring in one of the guys on their team, right? Some project manager who just will, nickel and dime things and just will say, I think that's knob and tube wiring. I think that plumbing needs to be fixed. And maybe that doesn't really need to happen. But if you are a seller and you get this guy under contract and they waive their inspections, which on the surface is awesome, right? Woohoo, we waived our inspection. But if they use a contingency for a personal inspection, you're just kind of opening yourself up to a bait and switch method, right? They might offer you a fantastic price, and then they'll take a look at it, and from their personal inspection, determine that they need to drop a whole lot off that purchase price. And at the end of the day, it's just kind of unethical. So be careful for people that are going to waive. If they're going to waive that inspection, make sure they've waived the inspection and that they're not putting another personal inspection on top of that. All right, our second red flag is when the offer has little to no down payment. That's just a bit of a red flag in general, and there's not really, there's not a bunch of like, okay, it is a red flag because XYZ. It just means that the deal's probably a little bit more shaky because they're going to be financing a lot more, right? VA loans don't require a down payment, right? But you still want to see something on there that shows that they actually have some cash saved up. Their financial position is strong. They're not going to be requiring a lender to hand them more money at the end of the day. Because when you're in a real estate transaction, the less third-party people that you have to bring in, the better, because then you're relying on other people to make sure that your deal is successful. So they always say cash is king, and it's absolutely true. When you have financing involved, things can fall through, things can get messy. So the more cash that you can see on that offer, the better. And I would go so far as to say when you see very little to no cash, that's a big red flag because you're wondering whether or not these people's financial position is strong. And don't think that you can just go to the lender and the lender will tell you that their financial position is strong, right?
Yeah.
Every lender, you call the lender, hey, is the buyer's financial position strong? Every lender is going to say, oh, of course, it's super, super strong. Even if it could be hanging on by a thread, they won't tell you that. Why? Because they want to get the deal done, and they're under no obligation to tell you the actual details of the buyer's finances. So yeah, that one's a pretty decent red flag.
Really eye-opening to me, like just like that some people, I mean, like obviously like you said, like not everybody is just trying to be unethical, but that there are unethical realtors out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a business where you can do things the right way or the easy way, and those two usually do not align. And so when you find yourself in a position to call out something that is a little shady or sketchy, or you yourself have the ability to make a decision that's going to be, detrimental to either side. We have a duty as realtors to serve our clients, really, and our clients only. We don't have a duty really to anyone else. But that does not hold us from a set of ethical standards, right? And we have a code of ethics, and we have to follow that. And at the end of the day, my goal is to not just serve my client, but also make sure that the other side doesn't get screwed at the end of the day.
Yeah.
No one wants an unfair deal. As sweet as it might be to wiggle and squeeze a few more dollars out of them, if it's unethical and you're just making the world a worse place at the end of the day, which is not why I got into this business. All right, our last red flag is any verbiage that says contingent upon. Scary. I do not like to see contingent upon. The reason I do not like to see that is because similar to what we were just talking about when bringing third parties in and relying on other people, you don't want to have to rely on another condition that you have no control over, potentially, for your deal to go through. That's dangerous. And I have learned the hard way with that one. That's one of those ones that you kind of look back on and you go, that one really sucked, right? I'll share the story of what happened. It was during the heat of the market. I think it was May or June. Actually, may have been April. And we had this really nice, I think it was like 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, like 3,000 square feet. It was a beauty of a house here in Newburgh. And we, at the time, it was kind of a steal for us to get this place under contract. Now it would be valued a lot less. But at the time, this was a deal. And we got it under contract because it was an off-market deal. The only thing that there was a caveat in there, and there wasn't really anything we could do about it. So it's not like I could have done something about this. It just sucks. Our offer, I was representing the buyers. Our offer was contingent upon the sellers closing on a property that they already had under contract. So they had a place in McMinnville that was already under contract, and they were going through inspections when we offered. So we thought, okay, they're fairly far along in this process. We should be fine. Anyway, it ended up that they had their walls of the house in McMinnville were leaning. It was like $100,000 repair. So that deal fell through, which meant that our deal fell through as well. And that sucked. That sucked for the buyers who really were just over the moon that they were going to get into this amazing house. It sucked for me because I was a very young agent. And this would have been a huge deal for me. And it would have been huge for me to just build that relationship with my clients because it was an impressive deal for somebody, such a young agent to kind of pull off. So it would have meant a lot for my business and it would have meant a lot for my clients. And it would have meant a lot for the sellers because they were excited to move into this new place and honestly get an amazing price for their home. So when you see contingent upon, that really is that's a huge roadblock on the way to getting the deal closed, because it means that something that, and this was completely out of our control. There was nothing we could have done, right? If you have something like that in your deal, I just don't think you're setting your client up well for success, because you're basically telling your client, you might just have to flip a coin on this one to see if it goes through or not.
One big domino effect.
Exactly. So I think, if you see that contingent upon, try as hard as you possibly can to work through that and say, can we get that out of there? What can we do to take this contingency out of there? Because I think you'll just end up setting your client up for disappointment if that contingency doesn't come through.
Seriously, it's just a domino effect, because if you have this deal going and they're waiting for this house and they're waiting for this house, and all of a sudden, oh no, this house falls down, they're all tumbling down.
Absolutely. I think the main takeaway from that point is make sure that the pieces you're putting into your deal or the pieces you're accepting from the other deal don't have contingencies that could just wipe things away in the blink of an eye, waste everyone's time and money. I think that's really important. And that will ensure that you have a strong deal going if you
And I mean,
take those extra
I've
steps.
learned, like, with other circumstances, once there's too many hands in the pot, it just gets messy.
Yeah. All right, on to our next thing. Ashley,
Yes.
yesterday was a very special day. 'Twas your 4-year anniversary here at Coldwell Banker. 4 more years. 4 more years. And so now that you have been in this industry for some time now, but you're not an actual realtor. So you've been around it, but you haven't really been in it.
Yes.
I have decided that for your anniversary here, we're going to play a real estate trivia game.
Okay.
And we're going to have a prize for you.
Woo!
Okay? Because I was sending out farming mail to old expired listings. I have an extra Starbucks gift card left over. So if you can answer...
Oh, boy.
So there are 9 questions that I've come up with, okay? If you can answer 5 or more correctly,
Oh, boy.
you will win this gift card. I might give it to you anyway. But we're going to go for it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Real estate trivia. Some of these are hard. Some of them are honestly like pretty like, okay, duh. All right. The first question, this is a hard one.
Okay.
What does an eagle above an old house represent or symbolize? And what I mean by that is like an older house having like maybe a golden eagle or just like some form of an eagle affixed to the front of their house. What does that mean?
A couple things come to mind, and I do not think that I'm right.
I love the confidence.
So when I think of an eagle on a house, I'm thinking like maybe it has to do with like a veteran or I don't know.
Is that your final answer?
No, I'm thinking
Okay.
out loud
Okay.
because I don't know what to do.
You have 10 seconds.
Okay.
7, 6.
I'm just gonna go with that.
Okay, that is incorrect.
Dang.
Ethan, please keep score for us, okay? The correct answer is that people used to affix eagles to the front of their house to symbolize that their home was free and clear of a mortgage.
That was my second. Oh my.
Was it really?
God. Yes, it was.
Why did you say that?
Because I kept thinking freedom.
Yeah, freedom from mortgage. Yeah.
Dang.
So it meant that they own the home free and clear, which is kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool. All right, the second question. You should get this one. What was ranked the best brokerage for new agents?
Was it Coldwell Banker?
Ding, 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 ding. Yes,
I thought so, but I was like,
Yes.
oh, that would be awkward if it wasn't.
That would be awkward. Why would I put this on?
Why would you bring it up?
Why would I bring that up on this show? Yes, you're absolutely correct. Coldwell Banker was named, I don't know if it was Forbes or one of those, ranking places.
Yeah.
Ranked Coldwell Banker as the best real estate brokerage for a young agent, which makes sense. They have a lot of resources. Mm-hmm. The commission split is not as good as some of these other places, but the resources are enough to get you get your feet off the ground in real estate, which is the hardest thing to do. So I would 100% of the time sacrifice a little piece of my commission for the resources because I know I'll do more business and get my business off the ground at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Plus, I know that extra slice of the commission is going to people like Ashley and Ethan.
Thank you for my paycheck, Tim.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm totally cool with that, right? Because then I have actual people on the staff who can actually help me. So, all right. So you're one for two. Okay. You got 1 point. You need 4 more to win the Starbucks gift card. All right. Here we go. Which house is the most expensive house in the world? I'll give you a hint. It is very popular. You might not think of it as a house.
Okay.
But it's the most expensive house in the world. Think huge houses. It's not a really everyone knows this. It's very popular.
I was gonna say White House.
Not the White House, but that's a good guess.
I was like big
very
house.
close. Very close. Something like the White House, but not the White House. It's not in the United States. I'll give you that.
It's not?
hint.
Okay.
Yeah. 5, 4.
Is it the
3,
Eiffel
2.
Tower? That's not a house. I don't know. There's an apartment on the top of it.
Okay, no, it's
So
not
technically somebody could live there.
Okay. Is that your final guess? Eiffel Tower?
No.
Okay, final guess. 3, 2.
I don't know. I don't. It's
1.
okay. I didn't get this one.
Buckingham Palace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, is valued at over $6 billion.
Oh. My mind was like Taj Mahal, but I'm like, it can't be. That I don't know if that's a house.
Yeah, not Taj Mahal. Buckingham Palace. Yeah, valued at over $6 billion. Wow. Yeah. All right. You're 1 for 3. All right. The next question is which color is the most popular house color?
Ooh. I've seen this one. Is it yellow?
Is that your final guess?
Yes.
Incorrect.
Dang. I saw something.
Come on. White. White.
Maybe not in Newburgh,
White.
but
White is the most popular house color. Second place is.
I've been lied to.
Second place is blue.
Blue. Okay, I thought
Yeah.
blue, but I could have sworn I saw something on Facebook that said yellow.
No,
I've been
incorrect.
lied.
Incorrect. All right, you're 1 for 4. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Judgment in the room.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right here. She's learned nothing in her 4 years here.
I'm in
Because
marketing.
we talk about the most popular house colors all the time. Yeah, no. Okay. Next question. Who owns the most real estate in the world? And this one relates to a question. Well, I'm not going to say that. I can't say that.
I don't know.
Actually, who owned? Because this person is no longer alive.
Oh, well, that,
But very
that took out my answer.
Very, very recently died.
Who died?
Come on.
Who
It's
died?
a big one. It's a big one. Come on.
So my first answer before you said they weren't they were dead
Yeah.
was Bill Gates.
Nope, not Bill Gates. Not even close.
But I'm like, who died?
Okay. So who died recently?
Is it Queen Elizabeth?
Very good. Yes. Queen Elizabeth, before she died, technically speaking, owned a sixth of the world's surface. Yes.
Dang.
Yes. Because she owned 90% of Canada as well.
Well, I know like she had like some islands and stuff down in the Caribbean.
No, she owns like a sixth of the world. She owned a sixth of the world's
Wow.
surface. Yeah. Insane. And I don't know if that's just because of her like supreme monarchy powers or whatever that she
Uh-huh.
had. Like technically speaking, she owns it. She couldn't do anything with it.
Mm.
But she owned a ton of land. Yeah.
Dang.
Okay, so I'll give you that one. You're 2 for 5. This is not good. Not something to be cheering about, actually. All right.
That's more than I thought I was gonna get.
This one is a sad question.
Oh,
What is the leading cause of foreclosure?
death.
Very good. Yeah.
Oh.
Death and disease.
Death and disease.
Yeah. So, followed by divorce.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They call it the 5 Ds, okay? Death, disease, divorce, drugs, and denial are the 5 most popular reasons why people get
Huh.
a foreclosure or people's foreclose on their homes.
Denial. Can you explain a little bit more?
They are in denial that they have bills to pay.
Ah,
That's
got you.
legitimately a reason why people foreclose on their
Got
homes
you.
is because they refuse to believe that they have to
I do
pay a
not need to
bill.
pay.
I do not need to pay this bill. $2,000? I do not need to pay it. It must be nice. Must be nice. All right. So you are what? 3 for 6?
I think so.
3 for 6. You need 2 more correct answers. We have 3 questions left.
Oh, no.
Okay. Which is the fastest growing state in the United States?
What does that mean?
That means which state are people moving into the most? Growing population, buying and selling homes economically.
I want to say Texas.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah. Ethan, don't give me that look.
Is incorrect.
I just know a lot of people been moving there.
That is incorrect. Idaho.
Idaho.
Did you know that, Ethan?
I
Yeah.
did not know Idaho.
Idaho is the fastest growing state. Second place, very close second, is Utah. Florida was not high on the list. Yeah.
I feel like everybody's trying to
Texas
move
was like
inland.
5th. I think Texas was like 5th.
I just know a lot of people I know just moved to Texas.
Yeah.
That's why I was going off of Texas.
Yeah. All right. 3 for
Dang.
7. You have used all of your incorrect answers.
I know.
You have 2 questions left.
It's a sad day.
It's a $5 Starbucks gift card. So
It's a sad
you
day.
can buy like 5/6 of a drink.
I know.
All right. What is the most expensive state to live in? This should be an easy one.
Well, I want to say California, but I also think New York.
Okay.
What's it?
Ethan, do we think she's forgetting a very important, super expensive state to live in? Yeah.
I don't get around, guys.
Well, yeah.
Those
but
are not the expensive ones,
those are very expensive. Yes, California.
but not the.
I'll tell you this.
expensive.
California is number 2. New York is number 3. This other state is above them all. Super expensive to live here. Because everything has to get imported.
Whoa.
Ethan, I don't know what Ethan's doing in the corner.
Hawaii?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hawaii is by far the most expensive state.
Well, I guess that makes sense because their food's really expensive there.
It costs like $6 for a gallon of milk. Yeah. And real estate's unbelievable. I think the median home price is like $800,000 in Hawaii. It's wild. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
all right.
insane.
All right. This is crazy. One last question. And if you get this question, you win. If you don't get it, you lose. This
It's
actually
okay.
turned out to be much more exciting than I thought it would be.
I'm learning.
You are learning, and you're 4 for 8. So one more answer and you win. One more correct answer and you win. All right. How many people in the United States hold an active real estate license? Ballpark.
Oh my.
Not realtors, National Association of Realtors. How many people
Have a license for.
have a real estate license?
What is the population of the
The
United
population of the United States is about 330 million.
Oh.
How,
Yeah, that is not my.
how many people hold a license?
I'm gonna go with. Is it 10?
Is that your final answer?
I don't know.
10 million people hold a
I
real
don't.
estate
I
license.
don't know.
So that would be 10 times the population of Portland holding a real estate
I
license.
don't know.
I'm trying to steer you in the right direction.
Is it
here.
100 million?
You're telling me that 1 in 3 people in the United States have a real estate license?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Kind of feels like it. No.
Everybody I know.
No, it is not 100 million.
It's okay.
Okay.
What is it?
Give me one last guess. Like give me a good guess.
That's
All right.
okay, we're good.
Did you look it up already, Ethan? Okay. You know what? We're going to let you phone a friend here, okay?
Phone a friend.
Because we're going to call in Ethan on this one. Ethan?
Peanut butter boy, come through, please.
Ethan's going to tap in.
Oh.
So the people at home can hear me and maybe
Okay.
see me. All right.
Ethan, how many how many people in the United States hold an active real estate license?
Seeing as my dad has one.
Does he
He
actually?
does?
He does.
Oh.
I
He doesn't.
I didn't know that.
never known that.
He barely does.
He barely does.
You guessed 10, and he laughed at you.
Yeah, he did.
You guessed 100,
I guessed
and I
100, and he
laughed even
laughed.
harder.
Is it in the middle?
Let's think like, I don't know. I think 3 is so small. I'm going to say 3. Good luck.
All right, 3 million.
Okay.
That is correct. 3 million.
You know.
That is I'm so impressed right
You're joking me.
now. That is insane.
How did?
Congratulations.
Wow.
Can we get on like a confetti effect or something? You're like,
I'll buy Ethan a coffee.
that is congratulations. You
Barely
scored-
survived,
you
but we did.
That's unbelievable. I cannot believe he came in and got that. That's insane.
Wow.
It is 3 million. Yeah, roughly 3 million. It's a little over 3 million, but yeah, about 1.5 million of those are active realtors, so like National Association realtors.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for playing the trivia game, Ashley. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you,
we should bring
Ethan.
other people on this show to do that game. That was
Yeah.
actually kind of fun. I
That
kind of
was
like
hard.
that. Give away gift cards. I have too many of those on my desk right now. So
Honestly.
yeah. All right. Our last segment. We are playing FMK. F Marry Kill Real Estate Edition. I guarantee you this is the first time that they've ever had a real estate edition of this game. And before your minds go to dirty places and you take this for more than it is, we're talking like real estate scenarios, right? So the first one, and I'll ask you and you can ask me, failed inspection, failed appraisal, or failed financing. Mine would be, I would take I would F the failed appraisal, marry the failed inspection, and kill the failed financing.
I think I would agree with you on the killing part.
Mm-hmm. Because the financing kills the deal.
Yeah. So why would I want that?
But it's a toss-up for appraisal /
Yeah. So I kind of was leaning like F the inspection and then marry the appraisal.
Okay, I like that. Okay, our next one is seller credits, full repairs, or a price reduction. I would F the seller credits, marry the full repairs, kill the price reduction.
Same.
Yeah, price reduction, all it does is take a little bit off of your purchase price and doesn't help put any cash in your pocket. Seller credits are good. Well, you know what? I don't know. Because the seller credits, you could get more money. But the full repairs, it's already done for you and you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one, but I like that one. Okay, next one. All right. Medium house on a medium property.
Okay.
Small house with tons of property. Or big house with no property.
Okay.
I'm going to F the big house, no property. I am marrying the medium house with the medium property. And I'm killing the small house with tons of property. I need more space to live in my house.
I would have to totally disagree with everything I just said there.
Wow.
I think I would F the medium house.
Okay.
I would marry the small house with a large property so I can have all my cows and chickens.
Okay, so farm girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
farm girl. And then I would kill the big one because I want space. Like I
Gotcha.
don't need Larissa would disagree because I'm materialistic, but
Material girl.
we are in a studio and we make it work.
Sure.
Every corner has something.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that the only reason I don't want the big property is because they're a lot of work to keep up.
Yeah.
And I lived on about 10 acres growing up, so I was like spent my entire summer mowing.
I
That's all
think
did.
of like with the acreage, I won't be around people.
Sure. Yeah.
Get away
that's
from
nice.
me.
I do like that idea. Not being around people. Okay. This is a good one. Tough client, tough deal, or tough opposing agent. I can't say F them. That sounds terrible. But number one, the tough agent. No, tough client. Number 2, I would marry the tough situation. I got no problem with a tough situation. I deal with them all the time. Yeah, I think I would go number 1, tough client. I can deal with a tough client. Tough situation, love it. Give me the tough situation, but I really struggle dealing with tough agents. They're just tough to deal with, hard to deal with, annoying, frustrating, make me want to pull my hair out.
I think I would F the client.
Oh, well, don't say that.
Sorry, I will.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay.
I would marry the tough agent, and then
Okay.
I would kill the
Situation. You
Situation.
don't want to deal with the situation.
no.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm a runner.
I'm all right. Fight or flight? Flight. All right. Here's a good one. The home smells great. Either the home smells great, has great interior design, or is a high-tech home.
That's a hard one.
I think I would F the smelling great home. Home smells great. It smells. I love smell. It smells great. I would marry the high-tech home. I'm a sucker for like the bells and whistles, and I would kill the interior design. Everyone knows that about me. Well, not everyone, but like I'll put football posters up in my room. I'm not an interior designer.
Okay, so I would marry the high tech. I would F the good smells, and I would kill
The interior design.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I don't really care about that. I guess
That's good. That's good. Okay. I agree with you. I think we.
I want to go, Alexa, turn on my lights. You know.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Just have to speak instead of click. All right. Last but not least, the home is dated but is a fair price, is super cheap but is a fixer, or is really updated but super expensive.
Okay.
I would F the cheap fixer, marry the updated but expensive, and kill the dated but fair prices.
That's what I was gonna say too. Actually.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with. If I'm going to be getting like a steal of a deal,
Mhm.
awesome. I can do that. I really would like the updated, even if it's expensive.
Yeah.
But I don't want to deal with like for a fair market value, a dated home that I'm gonna have to
Mm-mm.
do some work to and still have to pour
I
a bunch
want
of cash into.
turnkey.
Yeah, I agree. All right, that was a good segment. I liked that game. That was fun. I think we covered some serious topics this show,
Yeah.
and some not so serious topics. We will be back next week, and hopefully, dear God, please, we will hope that we'll have our guest on. Hopefully, he's recovering well from his car accident and is able to make it down to our studio. Before we leave, what is your word of the day?
Scramble.
You had that very, very ready.
No, it was like the first word that popped in my mind.
Seagull.
Seagull. Scrabble seagull.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. What's your number?
52.
32.
Two.
I think you've chosen 32 before. No, 34.
Yeah.
34.
So it still had a 4 in it.
32. Okay. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us for another episode of Tim Talks. We will be back next week. You guys know the drill. Please go ahead and follow us on YouTube and Spotify. Drop us a little bit of love, comment, a like. If you're on Instagram, make sure to like, follow, and share that reel. We will be back next week. Thank you again, guys, and have a great rest of your week.